Hello again, Internet. And as you can see, the sun has decided to come out and ruin our perfectly good day of filming. I look like I'm like perfectly like I look like I'm being like touched by an angel.
I love the sun.
I love the sun too. It's just it's not very friendly for like
videoing.
As my friend who's a cinematographer said, that big uncontrollable ball of light in the sky can sometimes come out and completely ruin your shot. But hey, we're making the best of it. So if I look like I'm ascending to heaven.
No, you're glowing. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm just joking with you. So yeah, everyone also, my mom is back. She hasn't been in videos for quite some time, about 10 years.
Yeah,
almost.
long time.
Yes. I think it's gonna be a long, long time. Till my nerve comes back to the videos again. So today we're watching another one that Steven recommended to us. Undertaker and Mick Foley relive their infamous Hell in a Cell match. So, Mom, you remember like back in the 90s where pro wrestling was everywhere?
Everywhere.
You know, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, The Undertaker, Kane, and all these big names and all that. There was one match from that era that a lot of people say is like the greatest spectacle match of all time. And by spectacle, I mean like literally like the stunts and the everything in it.
Just unforgettable.
Yes, literally. And this is also a pay-per-view that I think actually sold out the fastest in terms of like live sales. They sold out in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 minutes. That's how long tickets were on sale for before they sold out. This was one of, I would say it's probably one of my favorite matches ever. You know The Undertaker.
I do.
Anyone and everyone who's ever heard of professional wrestling knows about
popped
The
in my
Undertaker.
brain right when you said it.
Everyone knows about The Undertaker. Big scary dude, black hair, looking like he belongs in a satanic cult or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then of course you got Mick Foley, who long hair, has this like leather mask on that covers like part of his face like this.
I remember him too.
And he's always just like I am living in a torment of pain. The world is torment, the world is pain, and I will show you what pain really is. Yeah, that's mankind.
Can I bring up something in you in wrestling?
Sure, go ahead.
We went to New York City on a school trip.
Oh, right. I remember this.
And I went with Nate and his sister, and then my friend's son, Andrew, came along, and she's like, you need to watch out for Andrew. Here we were in Times Square, and we were supposed to stay together, and these two little shits were, like, missing in action. And I thought, where would they be? And I was, like, panicking, thinking, what am I going to say to his mother?
I was 12.
And then I thought, there is a wrestling shop on here.
This was back when WWF at the time had their store on Times Square called WWF The World. And then you could go in there. They had like all these different like shirts. They had like shirts on discount. They had like these games that you could play.
And belts. They bought belts.
Oh no, Andrew bought a belt. I couldn't afford to. But Andrew bought a belt, and he also got he was also a huge fan of the Hardy Boys, and he got like all the Hardy Boys t-shirts. I got like a Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt that I think I still have somewhere in my memorabilia. But
anyway, missing in action.
Yes.
In New York City.
Yeah.
Here
Times
I am.
Square.
And I knew where to go.
Yes. And you came in there, and you saw us, and you just like you were madder than a hornet. Just telling us to get out of here and like get back to the rest of the group, and we didn't care. We got our stuff. And
well, I wasn't too upset once I found you and knew where you were, but until I found you, I was losing my mind.
Oh, I bet you were. So yeah, that was a hell of a time. And,
that was.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I put you through that.
It's okay.
But that was in 2000. That was right before. That was the year before 9/11. I remember that because it was the summer school trip that I got to go on with Ashley. I was actually able to go, and then, yeah, that was, I'll never forget it as long as I live.
I went back the year after on the anniversary.
Mm-hmm. 2002, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we actually went to the World Trade Center during that trip. We
I know.
actually got to like look, stand at the base of it and look up at it. It was like, whoa, just insane times. But yeah, the WWF, or now it's WWE.
Right.
Because they lost the fight to a panda. Yeah. The World Wildlife Foundation. They fought WWF
For
over the WWF thing,
right,
and they lost, so they had to change to WWE. Ain't that hilarious? Yeah, you lose to a panda and you gotta change your name. Yeah, no longer the World Wrestling Federation, no World Wrestling Entertainment. That's hilarious. So, yeah, WWE Untold, Undertaker and Mick Foley relive their infamous Hell in a Cell match. Steven asked us to watch this, so I got it queued up here. What do you say we give it a watch?
Let's give it a watch.
Let's take a look. Hopefully we can see it because the sunlight is not being very friendly.
I remember that.
Yep.
He is broken in half.
Almost 20 feet.
Honestly, I did not expect him to get up from that. He hit, and finally he started moving around, and I was like, man, that's one tough son of a gun right there.
Mm-hmm. Crazy son of a gun, too. Right after my birthday.
Yeah.
First-hand stories.
Well, my feud with The Undertaker had actually ended a while earlier. I thought we were entering a match cold. I thought my character had been through a lot and people had lost interest in it. After watching the first ever cell match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, I realized I was in a terrible predicament to even try to approach the level that they had reached was going to be very difficult. And I just didn't see how it would be possible
the first
without
one,
something special.
I can guarantee.
First one was a great match, but this one, sad to say, every Hell in a Cell match that's come after has tried to live up to this one.
And not being able to.
No, very few have come close, but none have reached the level that the level of insanity that this was.
Mankind will have a surprise for everyone that you will not soon forget.
Also, this
we
is
can
Junie.
do something
You
special.
probably
If we
remember her
can
from the
start
first videos
a
that
match in
Mama
a way
was.
that no one
Yeah,
ever
she's only a
has.
year old then.
Maybe we can fool people
she's
into
11.
thinking we're having a great match, even if we're not.
I'm not sure exactly what had happened, but Undertaker broke his foot.
Sergeant Slaughter.
And we weren't sure, how, that was going to play out. Yeah, I did happen to have a fracture in my ankle. It was such an important time in the business. You knew you had to do it, so you just grit your teeth and go in there and do what you do.
That compounded the troubles that we were facing. Yeah, the Undertaker and I reminisced about that a couple of years ago. Like, what were we even doing in that situation? And yet he willingly entered it with a broken foot, which speaks volumes as to what type of competitor he is.
Okay, so we talk about I talked about Hell in a Cell matches that have been able to live up to this.
Right.
There was one recently that Cody Rhodes, son of Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. Yeah. Cody Rhodes participated in. And much like The Undertaker coming in with a broken foot, Cody also came in injured with a blown out pectoral muscle. And not only did he blow it out, he blew it out the day of, or the day before the match. So he basically was just like, it's already as injured as it can be. I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to try not to die.
Oh, man.
And I'll show you what Cody looked like. And I'll say this, that is probably the best Hell in a Cell match after this one. That, I will say that, because it was, and again, all credit to Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins for that match. That was an amazing match, but yeah, anyway.
Look out! The Undertaker is here, and he's walking with purpose. Oh, this is going to be bad.
I don't remember the build-up to that day, other than being approached by Mr. McMahon.
I would run.
And him asking me if I had been up on top of that structure earlier in the afternoon. And I assured him I had. which was the biggest lie I'd told up to that point in my life. And then he asked me if I was comfortable up there, and I assured him I was, which became the newest biggest lie I'd ever told in my life, because if I had ever gone up on top of that structure in the afternoon, I wouldn't have been scaling it that evening, because it was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. I know there are people in the WWE Universe, superstars, who are not afraid of heights. I'm not one of them.
The igloo is red hot, and it's sold out.
Where the Penguins used to play.
Welcome everybody to the 6th annual King of the Ring.
The reaction, even with a normally hot crowd, was a little bit lukewarm until we got up on top of the cell.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand wearing that mask.
What's he doing? Well, he's trying to get up to the top of the cage. Well, I'd see that, but for what? Well, he's not very logical. I mean, he needs therapy.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that sound when you used to watch it.
Yes.
To be
Undertaker's
completely
entrance was
honest,
always
it's
like something you had to watch.
crap. Am I going to be able to get up there? You know, the
Broken foot
answer
and all.
was yes, because I don't know how. I mean, I would have got up there. I don't care how, but I would have got up there. It was definitely an exciting way to start off a Hell in a Cell match, to start out on top.
There are moments when our feet are actually sinking into the mesh. It's like we're tearing holes
Yeah, it wasn't
in the
properly
mesh
reinforced.
as we walk, which should have been a harbinger for even worse things to come.
They're destroying the Hell in a Cell. And my God, don't get them over here where we are.
I still remember clearly the distinct sound of the wire coming unwound or breaking from the pressure of our weight. Well, funny enough, I felt safe.
It wasn't wires that they used.
What was it?
Zip ties.
Oh, wow.
Plastic zip ties.
And they broke them.
Yes. Because early constructions of like cells, of like the cell match like this, early cage forms were very crude. They were haphazardly put together. I'm not saying the construction wasn't impressive, but then
But
again,
not able to accommodate their weight.
yeah, because you got 2-3 men who are 300
Right.
pounds up on top of that thing.
So not happening.
No. And then, of course, you know, you had the cells you got nowadays are all like steel reinforced, and like the chain link fence parts are built into the
And they're
supports.
smaller.
No, they're actually in
The
some
same
cases bigger.
size? Oh.
Some are taller.
No, I meant like the amount of area that they could walk across at one time.
Oh no. The amount of area is like the same, but again, where it's reinforced, like they've got like things that go across, like the crossbars underneath that like support the weight better.
Gotcha.
And plus, they don't really do high spots like this. Like when I say spot, like big moves off the top of the thing, they don't really do that as much anymore. Last one I can remember was like Shane McMahon doing a diving elbow off the top of it and almost dying.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
They actually had an airbag support thing underneath the table that he went through, and you could see the air like blow out the side of it.
Right.
But yeah, it was something.
For on the edge or the poling of the cage.
And I just remember getting a couple of really quality chair shots to the back. I think
had
Jerry
a few
Lawler
those.
said,
Puts goosebumps on
They
my
don't-
neck
they
now.
don't feel
It makes
good.
the hair on my neck
No
stand
matter
up. I
how
like it.
safe they are with you, they never feel good.
I have no doubt.
and
Took a headshot,
the next
too.
thing I know, I was
That was
in
fun.
flight.
Yeet! And just
God.
falling 20 feet through a table.
That killed him.
I said he killed him.
My witness, he is broken in half.
Funny enough, they did not tell the commentary team what was going to happen.
So they were like
Oh.
freaking the frig out.
Yeah, well, no, because Jerry Lawler, who's usually like on commentary, yeah, he's always doing like his goofball color commentary. He's like, okay, it's like, all right, that's it. I think the match should stop now. I think the match should stop. But then you got JR, who's like, if they would have told them beforehand, their reactions would not have been anywhere near as what we got
Right.
there.
It was authentic.
Because you had JR going, good God Almighty, that killed him. As God is my witness, he is broken in half. I love Jay. Those two on commentary is like my favorite ever. I love those guys.
Everything you heard me say was spontaneous and real.
Yeah.
So that call has a pulse.
I cannot believe
That
it's
dislocated
over.
his
That
shoulder.
cage is 16 feet
I have no
high.
doubt.
When I tossed him off of there, and as I was watching him fall, and it seemed like it took forever for him to hit the table. It was like only thing I could liken it to is whatever an outer body experience. It was so crazy.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
was so loud in there with the people. At that point, nothing like that had ever been done.
Believe me, I was almost having a
Tim,
heart
the
attack
referee.
watch what was going on. And I got to Mick. I'm asking him, are you
Yeah, good old
okay? Are
Terry
you
Funk.
okay? And he gave
Rest
me
in
the
peace, man.
sign there that, yeah, I can continue, which flabbergasted Mick. He said something kind of quietly, and then I heard him say it again, my shoulder. So I called for a stretcher, and in order for the stretcher to get there, we had to lift the Hell in the Cell up. So with the Undertaker still on the top of the Hell in the Cell, it started moving upward.
Why is the cage raising? Do they realize the Undertaker is still on top of the cage? They're raising the cage with the Undertaker still on top. What?
Yeah.
Obviously, I know
He's
they
trapped
raised
up
the
there.
cage, but I was kind of oblivious to it, really. I was so zoned in what we were doing at that point. I'm kind of up there without any kind of communication with anything or anybody. I was just like, well, I guess I'm not going anywhere until they,
Let me back down.
bring me
Exactly.
down.
Like, what are we gonna do now?
We got Mick about halfway back. He started saying, no, I want to go back. I said, no, you're not going anywhere. You're going back. You're going to the hospital. And the next thing I
He's
know,
like,
And he's
Nope.
like, hell no.
jumps up. He started climbing up the Hell in the Cell again.
Yep, and there he
He
goes.
started going
He's
up to the
again.
top.
Did you imagine that?
No.
Dislocated shoulder and everything. Doesn't care. He's going back up.
On his face, for God's sake.
He's got a smile on his
Are
face.
you kidding me? He wants to go back up.
What a maniac.
Mankind is going
Mick
back
Foley
up.
was a crazy
The
man.
Undertaker. No way.
Because there he goes again. And Taker, what was the funny thing too? Taker was actually climbing down the other side.
And then he came back up and
he
grabbed
saw-
his chair.
He saw Mick climbing back up. He's like, well, shit, here we go again. I guess we're going to keep the match
Keep
going.
it going.
How can his body? Oh my God, the Undertaker's got the chair. This is absolutely amazing.
Everybody in the building thought the match was over. I didn't know
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure if I could, but
Who
I
would-
said
who
I
would
was
think
going to
this
give it
would
my best try.
continue?
No,
But
I
by
would.
the time I got to the top of the cell, I was just about out of energy. So I look back and I wish that I'd had the strength and the energy to exchange with the Undertaker, but I'm thankful that I didn't in retrospect, because if I'd had the strength to exchange, I also would have had the strength to get off the cell for the choke slam.
Oh, this. Oh, man. That wasn't supposed to happen.
God.
That wasn't supposed to happen. That right there, you can actually see the zip ties. The
I
plastic
see them
zip ties.
broken.
They broke, and then he went through, and he hit the ring. Here's the thing. Here's the lesson when it comes to taking a bump, like falling in the ring. Flat. You want to land flat on your back. Look how he came down.
I see.
Look how he came down. Right on his hip. He came down right on his hip in that ring. And this ring does have padding, and it does give a bit.
But not for that distance.
No.
And his body weight.
Yeah. So Mick right there injured his hip, and it actually is one thing that led to him having to retire a few years later. This part right here. Also, the chair fell down and hit him in the mouth and knocked his tooth out. Like, you'll see where his tooth winds up. It actually knocked it up through his lip. And you'll see where it winds up, but also right here is where he got the concussion. He also got a really bad concussion.
I have
from
no
this.
doubt, man.
But yeah.
Good God! Good God! That's it. He's dead.
King's commentary.
Somebody Somebody stop the damn match! Enough's enough!
Yeah.
The poor son of a... He's broken in half!
Just checking on you like,
And
you
the
alright,
Undertaker
man?
likes it! But I think enough is enough!
Knowing what we know and knowing that that structure gave way, I believe that if I'd gone up in a way that I usually did for choke slams, that would afford me the safest landing on a mat inside a ring, that I would have over-rotated and landed high on my shoulders and likely never wrestled again.
Yep. That'd have been
I
it.
totally agree with that. We're talking a matter of a couple of inches, even the way he landed.
Phew.
I mean, that could have been catastrophic.
Lord.
I mean, it really could have. But I stepped off of the panel and onto the support bars. If I hadn't have done that, we'd have both gone through that together.
Yeah.
So if you could imagine, if
Well,
I
he
had
was
stayed on
he
that
was
panel,
on one panel
Right.
and Mick was on the other.
my weight would have probably been on him too. And then what
I would
happened?
have killed him,
It's a
Yeah.
scary thought.
Very scary thought.
It just was an incredible thud, and it just made you.
He didn't get back up from
see it.
this, does he?
And we could see
You'll see.
something, in his nose.
Oh, yeah.
I
Terry
remember
Funk getting
punching
choke
him,
slammed out of his shoe. Yeah, he got
trying
right
to
back
talk
up
some
again.
sense into him,
He kept going.
but also being
The match kept going for like
distracted by this
another
huge-
5-10 minutes.
What I thought was what I thought
See
was
that
a
thing in
booger
his
in
nose?
Tooth, it's his tooth.
Yep, went up
Holy
through his lip and wound up in his
shit.
nose. Everyone thought it was a booger. Even he thought it was a booger.
Oh my god.
Taker did too, but it was later on that Mick realized, like, oh no, that's my tooth getting jacked up and like,
You had a wrestling move when you were like 2.
really? Oh yeah.
You fell down the steps and your tooth came through your top lip.
Oh right, I remember that.
Remember?
Oh man.
It wasn't funny then, but
Uh-huh.
that's what it reminds me of, because your tooth was like right here
Oh man. That was
through your lip.
yeah. That's the thing is like me and Dad have like the worst luck when it comes to like our front teeth, because his are all gone and it's like a false that he's got there. Like I remember when we were like at a thing that had a black light thing,
And
he
they were
smiled,
like,
and his were
really white.
no, his like had no glow to them. They have no glow to them. Whereas his other
Oh,
teeth,
you're right.
Yeah, because of the stuff it's made out of, doesn't have
And
that.
it was like he was Snagglepuss Brian.
Yeah, and he had like his front teeth don't give off a glow in like black light, and I was like, Dad, what's that about? And he's like, oh yeah, they're fake. I'm like, what? Because I never knew that until like he told me years later.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, and this kind of stuff right here. I mean, like Mick with his tooth hanging out his nose. Oh my gosh,
It's crazy.
phew.
It's hard to like smile during all this, man.
Come to find out that it was one of his incisors that it went through his lip and ended up in his nose.
And I had the presence of mind to think that if I could just find a way to stick my tongue through that massive wound and wriggle it, that it would create a compelling image. I knew I was going to be okay.
Oh my! And he's smiling. He is smiling.
Oh my god.
Mick had basically just had 2 really bad car
He
accidents
reminds me of
and
Who
still had
Travis Kelce's
the
brother.
fortitude.
Oh,
Jason
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Yeah,
He looks like Jason Kelsey.
in a lot of ways, yeah.
He really does.
And they're
And
both
with all
big.
the stunt shit.
Well, yeah. Well, Jason's a huge
hilarious.
wrestling fan too.
I know, he's hilarious.
He was actually at a WrestleMania. It was the one in Philadelphia. He actually like hopped over the ring and he actually like helped out in a match. It was really cool.
My favorite is the cinnamon toast crunch cereal commercial.
Oh yeah.
He's blasting the cinnamon.
My favorite's from when he was in Always Sunny. That's a show set in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And he guest starred in it as like a hallucination. This guy was like so superstitious. He was just like, well, when I get hurt, the Eagles start winning, but whenever I'm not hurting, the Eagles start losing. So, all right. Sticks his leg back in the bear trap.
Oh, shit.
He hurts himself again, and the Eagles win the Super Bowl. And he's celebrating later on with his leg in a bear trap, like, yeah.
Yeah, he has no brain, which is hilarious.
Well, no, that's Charlie, and Charlie.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh,
Jason Kelsey.
Well, no,
He's hilarious.
Jason Kelsey's got he's very smart. I mean, he's very.
He is,
smart.
but he's funny.
Yes.
Get back to his feet and say, we're going to finish this. I mean, that's just another cut of human being right there.
You know what? I'm panicking. I really am. I don't know if I should just say the match is over, and then he grabs me and he goes, "Where are the tacks?"
Oh, God.
Thumbtacks.
Thumbtacks.
Yes.
Thumbtacks.
I've been in a match where they've used thumbtacks.
My God.
We're a damn
Just the
Buggy brought them
glittery,
out.
the shininess of the tacks.
It was the thumbtacks,
And I guess
also,
in retrospect,
also Legos.
we needed something like that,
I've
and
stepped on
seemed like
a few of
a
those.
suitable way to
Not
end
very,
that
not very
match.
pleasant. Oh yeah. And he rolls around at him.
The tacks were probably the easiest part of the night.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was definitely icing
Then
on the
he wouldn't
cake
have
for
a
him.
tetanus
For
after
him,
that.
he
Oh yeah.
ended up in a bed
That's
attack.
the bottom of his shoe
So,
filled with
it
thumbtacks.
was a rough night for Mick Foley.
And even as Timmy White was counting 3, that I believe the right foot was just kicking ever so gently to show like
I'm still
I'm
here,
not
dude.
completely out of this ball game yet. Mike Chioda, who was not the referee of record,
Look at his
but
arm.
he came out
I know.
and
Makes
told
me
me they were
hurt.
bringing a stretcher out for me. And he said, and you can look on the video and you can see I lift my arm. And the reason I lift my arm is I didn't want anyone in Pittsburgh to see me talking. And what I said to him was, have I already been on a stretcher tonight? And when he informed me that I had, that right arm went up about 3 seconds after that for a second time. And I said, I can't be on 2 stretchers in one night. And I hobbled my way to Mr. McMahon's room.
We took him back and put him on a table.
Oh, that's Terry Funk. You remember Roadhouse?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I knew I remembered
There's
him.
always Barber College.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a pro wrestler too. He actually passed away here recently. He lived a long life. Plus, people were like, "It's a miracle he lived this long." Because again,
God, what they put their bodies through.
well, yeah, especially back then, back before health and safety standards have made it safer, but still, yeah.
Yeah.
To let me know that his shoulder was hurt, but he smiled at me, and I could see, that he had a gash under his lip. They started stitching him up right there. Just an incredible sight to see.
Mr. McMahon sat me down, and I remember those words specifically. He said,
Man,
I remember him.
"You have no idea how much I appreciate what you've done for this company, but I never want to see anything like that again."
no.
I understand.
Me too.
It's everlasting. It's in our minds forever. And it's like any other great event in wrestling or mainstream sports. It's that clay that defined the game.
I couldn't ask for a better human being to do that with than Mick. These are things that, like I said, that I haven't really talked about. There's probably only a handful of people that I would, open myself up like that to, he being one of them. It's really special to be considered such an iconic match and one that people really,
Never forget.
have all these really fond memories of. That just lets us know we did something right.
It was the reactions to the unexpected, and I think that element of surprise, it embeds it in people's minds so that anyone who was there in the venue or watching live when it happened will never forget that moment.
Cameras.
This moment or series of moments has left this indelible imprint on people's memories. We're somehow able to create an image in people's minds that lives on and will outlive me and the Undertaker both.
I don't even know what to say.
Well, there's a lot you could say, but at the same time,
I'm just overwhelmed with it all. I've never watched the whole thing.
yeah, Cody. Here you can see Cody's what his torn pectoral muscle looked like. he had on like a Ric Flair like robe.
Yeah.
And then he took it off to like reveal what it looked like, and look at his,
Oh my God.
yeah. That's Seth. That's his opponent. But yeah.
Gentlemen,
Please tell me he wins.
we said
Yes.
less than 100%.
Cody won.
Okay.
Cody won, and then he immediately went and had surgery, like the next day. And Cody has said this multiple times. He says that like as much as people want to praise him for like having the guts to go out there and do that match with his pec torn like that, none of the people talk about Seth Rollins, like his opponent, and like how he did a lot of like the heavy lifting in the match to like make Cody still look good. Because that's one thing about it. Because a lot of the moves, like they work together to make it look good. And Seth did everything he could to protect Cody and like make sure his pec
Tried not to
it agitate it, make it worse. Yeah. So that is honestly, anytime like someone brings up Hell in a Cell, you know, like this match type, I always just I think back on all the ones I've seen. And then I think about that one, the one from 1998 with Undertaker and Mankind, and I always think to myself, wow, what a different time for the wrestling industry. What a different time for the world. Because you think about it, it's just like how the heck is Mick Foley still alive? Not only is he still alive, he's actually doing pretty good. I mean, he actually about 5 years ago found out he had like acquired scoliosis. Because normally he was like 6'4", fairly large guy, but he had a physical done, and he found out he was only like 6'1.5", and they were like, oh, well that's not right, and then they do an X-ray, and his back is basically like bent this way, so they told him like
it's from all the impact that he had taken,
and they did like Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, who I love.
Yes, we love his yoga system.
We do his yoga.
Yes, and he basically contacted Mick Foley and said, here, I have a regimen, I have a program that I can get you on, and we can not only make you, like, able to walk around, like, good again, but we will be able to, like, help you lose weight and everything, because Mick had gained a lot of weight as well, because, you know, he didn't work out. Right. He didn't, and by the end of it, Mick Foley had a physical done before he made an appearance at WrestleMania one year, and it was after that he came back and he was 6'3.5". So he gained back like 2 inches of his height from working with Diamond Dallas Page for like a year. Yeah. And once again, cannot express enough the gratitude for Diamond Dallas Page and like what he's done to help wrestlers, what he's done to help everybody.
Me.
Yeah. His yoga system has helped out a lot of people, and honestly, that's one thing that I love about it. And he actually got a spot in the WWE Hall of Fame. They put him in the Hall of Fame.
Did they?
Yeah, and rightfully so, if you ask me, because as a wrestler, he deserves to not only be there, but as someone who's helped these wrestlers post career and like even during their career. Like helping keep them like healthy and like keep their bodies like
going.
Yeah, he's more than earned that. But yeah, so Steven actually sent me a message. I'll let you read it.
What did he say?
He said this. He said, if there's still time, ask your mom if you were offered $10 million to do a match with Mick Foley. Do what Mick Foley did in that match, would they let you?
Me?
Yeah. Would
Hell no.
Would you let me do? You wouldn't?
Hell
for $10 million?
No.
For $10 million?
No, we'll eat you.
Mom, look at that. Look, absolutely. I said my hospital bills will be like $500,000 at most. That's money in the bank.
If you make it.
I'll make it. I'm tough.
Oh my God.
I'm tough.
I'm my mom. Don't ask me that.
Come on. But, well, I guess you have your answer there. That's a no from her, but honestly, for $10 million, I'd do it. I'd do it.
I'd come kick your ass all the way back home.
Yeah, after I do it.
After you do it.
After I do it, yeah. And I'd be like, hey Mom, look at my bank account.
Yeah, isn't it awesome? Too bad I can't do anything anymore.
No, I'll just be like this. I'll just be like, I'm going to rehab all this, and after about 6 months, I'll be good.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, if you could, that'd be awesome. But I don't want to take the chance of son being the mom and saying,
I hear you. But remember that promise I made you? I'd give you $1 million whenever I had the ability to. And I promised you.
I know,
I promised you that.
I'm kidding.
And one day maybe that'll happen. Who knows?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So Steven, thank you once again for sending us.
I enjoyed watching that, Steven.
Yes.
I hadn't watched the whole thing, but it almost made me cry a couple times. It's kind of freaked me out.
Oh yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Yeah, and you asked me if I'd let you do the same thing. Oh my God.
Come on.
Hell to the no.
Hell to the no. Oh gosh.
I'm embarrassing you.
You're all right.
She's all right.
Secondhand embarrassment. I'm used to it.
Let me mention once again my people from the OAF Society.
Yep.
We're glad to be here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And those the two that were in the match, they're also in the OAF Society too.
My God.
Yeah. So you have company.
Okay. I'm a proud member too.
A human crash test dummy and a big scary 6'10" monster.
Shit, man, the Undertaker always freaked me out.
I know, right?
But I thought he was hot. those coats, what do they call them? What do they call those long coats? What?
Trench coats.
I don't know what it was, but it was like, God. I was like, oh, shit.
Keep talking like that. Well, of course. Well, he was. Well, I was gonna say
he
was probably sweltering. He was probably sweltering in that thing.
I bet he was, and he was all sweaty and hot. Yeah.
It's
like,
ooh. I can only imagine the sweat. It's like, I wonder how many times he had to wash his jacket.
He probably got new ones each show.
Maybe. Well, that's the thing. Wrestlers, where they're paid contractors, they actually have to buy their own stuff.
Well, at that point, he made money.
Yeah, he was probably making good money.
He was making good. Which, it's like being like a cattleman when you wear your jacket. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess you spray it or something. I don't know.
Spray it or buy a new, or maybe if you got enough money, buy a new one.
Yep.
But, all right, everybody. That was
It's been real, been fun.
Yeah, and
missed you.
Guess we'll see you all on the next one. Take care. Peace.